let's go back to the start again, because I'm going to. We had a conversation. I think I was at Unilever 2 or 3 years ago, and you gave us a great talk around some of the things that you were doing in your area at the time, and you said to me, "I'm off tomorrow to go and see a small startup," and obviously you're a very big organisation, Unilever, and I just see that you have this kind of appetite to work with smaller technology providers as well to help deliver, obviously, the overall agenda that you're trying to deliver. And, for some of our listeners who also work at bigger firms, it'd be interesting to hear about your approach to working with technology companies and how you balance up, small versus large.
It's a very nice question, David. So if you have another podcast to zoom in on that question alone, that would be brilliant. I still remember that. I still remember the moment that what you're referring to, because I remember that I was a little bit nervous because I needed to talk to all these bright cookies that knew everything about people analytics. And that definitely have my passion and interest, but it's not my strength, so to speak. So I remember that. Look, I think at that time what we did was we went on we called it a digital safari, just half a year before that. And in that digital safari, we went to 5 cities physically. Can you imagine that you can go to 5 cities physically?
Can't even imagine going to 5 houses at the moment.
Exactly. So at the time we could still do that. And we sent out teams to only talk to entrepreneurs in HR, startups, and you could talk to scale-ups, but not too much. Yeah? Because we really wanted to know what's happening there at the edge of innovation. What is it that entrepreneurs see that we do not see, or what is it that they see can be scaled up that we currently are not comfortable with? Out of that safari, we selected, or each safari team could pitch for 2 startups that we were going to set up some pilots with. So we selected a few after people pitched in for it. Growth was one of them at the time. Hence, I paid a visit to Israel to understand what it was and then see what kind of pilot we could set up. But what it helped us to do is to really think 3 to 5 years down the line. Yeah. So often it's not easy. I call about Horizon 1, Horizon 2, and Horizon 3 thinking.
Yeah.
One is, you need to deliver in year. The coming 3, 6, 9 months are absolutely critical to create the business results. And then halfway through the year, you start thinking about, okay, but next year and the year after, what is it that I need to deliver? Horizon 2. But you also need to let yourself be guided by what is possible in the future, Horizon 3 to 5 years out. And those digital safaris have helped us to create a very clear picture of how the future most likely was going to look like. We didn't know what kind of solutions, we didn't know what kind of players, but we started to see what we believed in. So our strategy was informed by that. So that's the role of playing with startups. That have proven to be extremely valuable to us. The other benefit of working with startups is that you can choose an area where you're not 100% certain of, but you know that if you want to create a shifting culture in a mindset, in different ways of working, then you can start small because you've got license to fail. So in the talent marketplace, as I just explained, that's exactly what we've been doing. And then the moment that the technology takes off, then you exactly know how you need to drive that change. So that was extremely helpful. I have to make one big remark for everybody who is listening in, because we find it at the same time extremely difficult to balance working with smaller entities, with smaller startups, with smaller providers, and at the same time driving efficiency, particularly making sure that you can do it at the right cost. Yeah. Big platform providers. So there's an equilibrium that you need to look for of how fast do you want to innovate, what are the areas where you want to be leading edge. Therefore, you want to take a risk by going faster into the future. Because if you wait until the big players have completely optimized their platforms, then you become one of the many that then is going to go into a difficult implementation and adoption of the technology process. So it's a very fine balance of what are the 4 or 5 areas that you really want to set yourself apart. And I think in Unilever, we try to do that on lifelong learning. Hence, we started a similar kind of process that led to our partnership with The Breed. We did that with Gloat on talent at the moment. And now we have a third leg, I would say, is how can we create agility as a way of working, but you don't need technology partners for that.
Yeah.
That's another area that we want to become really, really known for.
In this series, we will be speaking to a range of senior leaders who are pushing a data-driven and digital HR agenda. Make sure that you subscribe via your podcast app of choice and also via our YouTube channel for free and regular interviews with the digital HR leaders of the future.